I already met in the spirit, so
Good morning, good morning. We are live. We are live. And happy Monday. Happy Monday to those who are tuning in. For those that are tuning in, I am Stephanie A. Wynn, and I have Jocquice J. Spikes. And this morning we're going to talk about the wow experience. But
yes.
before we get started, just want to talk about renewing of your mind. So if you got a pen and piece of paper, tell your friends, tag, share, invite them because we are going live. So
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm excited. So, Jay, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're talking about the Women Overcoming Waste Leadership Brunch. This is a leadership brunch that will be taking place in Danville, California, September the 10th, Saturday, September the 10th. And it is truly, truly, truly going to be an experience. It's not your average summit, workshop, or leadership conference. This is actually the wow experience. So Jay, tell the audience about what is wow? What is wow?
Yeah. So, WOW, like you said, stands for Women Overcoming Waste. And really, what this is about, Stephanie, is some of the things that you and I have talked about over the months, right? Like, well, actually, over the years. My goodness, I can say that now. Um, it is really about the things that you and I have personally struggled with in our careers and business and how we overcame them, right? The
Right.
things that we're wasting as women in our careers and business, wasting time, wasting our talents, wasting opportunities, right?
Yes.
And so we are so passionate about it to where we don't want to see another woman be pulled down by waste
Right.
because we're holding on to things, we're not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the opportunity does come, either we're not ready for it or we get it and then it falls apart because we don't know how to sustain it. Right. And again, we're
Right.
talking career and business.
Yes.
And so the WOW experience is really going to be designed to give you the TRUTH. Okay.
Absolutely.
The truth. A lot of the things that you really don't hear that
Mm-hmm.
likely most people in your career and business are not going to tell you about,
Mm-hmm.
but really is the truth anyway.
Right.
About leadership, about what it takes to succeed in your career, in your business. So that's what the WOW experience is in a nutshell.
Awesome, awesome. So Eileen Smith says, "Hey, hi Stephanie and Jay. Hello, Eileen.
Hi,
Thank you for
Eileen.
tuning in." So, Jay, when we talk about the wow experience, I want to elaborate and I want to let the this is a women's leadership a women's leadership and business brunch, right? And
Right.
and fellas, we haven't forgotten about you, but we really got to help the women out because I really feel, and you and I both agree that it's time for us to remove a lot of the waste.
Yeah.
Like we're wasting time, we're wasting like you said, our gifts, our talents, and we're not accomplishing the things that we need to accomplish, whether it's in corporate America or in your business, right? And so I want to say one thing that I will be discussing there too. I will be talking about releasing the bags, and I go into full detail of how we release the bags and what is a bag. We talked about this too on our podcast interview.
Yeah.
Um, sometimes we're in bondage. Bondage mentally.
Hmm.
We overthink. We can't move forward to even go to the next level in our job or in the career
Right.
or in the business because we're mentally in bondage. And then we also have anxiety. A lot of us, we struggle with anxiety, not anxiety as far as, uh, ADHD or some diagnosis of anxiety, but anxiety of worrying about things that we have no control over.
Right.
We just simply just worry. And for those women that are, some of us have been victims of gluttony. And I'm not talking about like greed and food, but just overindulging in things that no longer serves a purpose.
Hmm.
We hold on to things that have expired and we need to move on. And I just feel like this wow experience is time for this. Sure, we go to a lot of summits and we go to a lot of events and virtual or in person, and it's the same thing. After you leave, then what? I feel like going to coming to the WOW experience, you're going to leave the intention is for you when you walk away from this experience.
Yep.
You are not only going to be wowed, but you're going to be able to implement some things right away.
That's right.
So, and then we the G, and we talked about gluttony, and then S is slothfulness. A lot of times we get so complacent and we get lazy, and it's time for us to stop making excuses as to why we can't get something done. I get it. As women, we have so many hats, right? We have a lot of bags and we have a lot of shoes, right? And so we're going to be discussing hats, bags, and shoes, but these bags we have to remove before we can move forward with
anything.
Changing the hats.
Yes. And walking in the right shoes.
Yeah. So again, like this experience is going to be amazing. And again, like I said, a lot of us have designer bags, right? I know Coach has always been my go-to bag since day one. They have, lifetime guarantee. And so a lot of us have Louis, Gucci, Michael Kors, and like I said on the podcast, Birkin bags and all of these different bags. But a lot of us have, I'm not talking about just the physical bag, but how many of you who are watching right now, Eileen, have bags inside of a bag? Like there's a lot of us carrying all of these bags inside of a bag. And Erykah Badu said it perfectly. Bag lady, you're going to miss your bus because you got too much stuff.
Right.
You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. So a lot of us have so much stuff in the bags. Yep. We can't move forward or propel forward to whatever the goal is. So Jay, what are your thoughts on these bags?
Listen, what you have revealed with the bags is just like mind-blowing for me, right? You could it's so many analogies that you can utilize with that. And so as women, we identify with that so well. Like you said, we're going to talk about bags, hats, and shoes. I mean, what woman doesn't love one, if not all three of those things? But we're going to break it down in such a way that you'll never look at your bags again the same, right? You'll never look at your hats again the same. And then when you get ready to put your shoes on, you're going to remember the things that we talk about in the sense of walking in the right shoes. So, as far as bags is concerned, it's the foundation. This is the way I see it. It is the foundation of what we're going to talk about at the WOW experience. You have got to have the right foundation. If you don't, let's just take it back to when they're building homes.
Yeah.
Okay. There's even a biblical reference for having the right foundation. So, but when you're building a house and they're pouring that cement or whatever kind of foundation you have, if it's not level, there's a problem. Right? If it has cracks in it, there's a problem. And if it's not on the right type of ground, like solid ground, there's a problem. Right. So whatever you build on top of that, when the pressure comes, when the wind comes, right? When the trials and the tribulation comes, it is going to fall. And so that's what we're talking about when we say wasting time, opportunities, and talents, because when that opportunity comes, right? And your foundation, your bag, you haven't released the bag. So your foundation is top heavy or whatever the situation is, cracked, right? It's not established correctly. Things are going to fall to the ground. So bags are really the foundation of the WOW experience in the sense of what we're going to be sharing. And then I'll just hit a little bit on hats.
Yes.
You have got to change your hat. That's what Wise Hat Consultant is all about, right? So HAT stands for your habits, your associations, your thoughts. If you don't change your hat, you're going to have a problem. So releasing the bags, assessing and changing your hat, the way you think about things, how are your habits serving you? Because the wrong habits will leave you very humble, homeless in some cases, right? And hopeless. right? So are your habits serving you? Are your associations the right associations?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then your thoughts. We all know. I mean, we could be on here all day talking about what the right thoughts will
Yes.
do for you in your career and business versus the wrong one. So releasing the bags, changing your hat.
That's right. That's right. So Eileen said, I see it all the time. I'm so glad you are covering this topic today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank
Our
you, Eileen.
Facebook, we got someone that tuned in from Facebook. So if you are tuning in and we are new to your timeline, I am Stephanie A. Wynn. This is Jocquice J Spikes. And we are talking about the WOW experience. If you are a woman who is
Yes.
tired,
Yes.
tired of holding on to this waste. The WOW experience is women overcoming waste. It's a leadership brunch. It's an intensive. And I just want to say this. During the WOW experience, you're going to embrace your purpose and make a bigger impact and with confidence.
Right.
So a lot of times, we have goals and dreams to do things, but we're not as confident that we can get this thing done. So maybe there's a position on your job you would like to apply for, but you can't get there because again you're in mental bondage.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I really want to talk about this because we sit and we second guess ourselves, we overthink, we even have a great idea, but we won't move forward because we're afraid of fear.
Mm-hmm.
Fear gets in there. Your fear of success. What
Yep.
if I get this job? Right?
And
What
what?
if I get
Yep.
the job? Then what? Or maybe nobody will support me if I get this business started, right? It doesn't matter. If nobody listen, this is your journey.
Mm-hmm.
And you, like you said, the associations, you have to get into alignment with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we want to take everybody with us,
And you cannot.
and you can't.
That's just the truth.
So, Jay, I want you to tell us, like, let's talk about the intensive. Like, what will they experience at the WOW experience? What's going to be included in the WOW experience?
Right. So we're going to really like I want to say feature and break down. I said earlier the truth, but really it's what I would describe as disruptive
Mm-hmm.
thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about the truth about leadership. It
Right.
is not standing in some of what we've learned growing up as adults, when our parents say, do as I say and not as I do, right?
Right.
Or you have to follow me or you have to do what I say. Leadership is really about servanthood. And
Yes.
that's a word that a lot of people are afraid of because they feel
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, I'm not serving you. I'm not your servant. Well, let's change your mindset about what servanthood is about as well. And
Right.
then you embrace the true meaning of leadership as well.
That's.
Just because you're a leader,
Mm-hmm.
that does not mean doesn't give you the license to talk to people any kind of way, to treat people any kind of way, right? And that's why sometimes when we get in these positions, our character and our reputation is out of alignment. So our character is who we are at our core, right? Who we believe we are at our core. And our reputation is what people say about us when we leave the room. And so if you don't know what people are saying about you, number one, you need to find out. And we're going to talk about how you do that. It's real simple. It might come with an ouch or two, but it's real simple. And it's important for you to know that, right? And then the second thing is, once you find that out, it's not in alignment. You need to know how to fix that. Because if you're the person who everybody smiles and nods at, but your reputation is that you're not easy to do business with, meaning nobody wants to partner with you. They don't want to be on a project with you. They see an email from you and they're like, oh God, right? That's a problem. So we're going to talk about how to be a real leader, what true leadership means. And it is about servanthood. But again, it's not in the sense of, it's almost like the word submit. When people hear the word submit, they're like, oh my God, oh my God.
Yes. Yes.
They freak out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And because they think you have to be this. No, it's
Mm-hmm.
not about that. So we're going to break that down. we're going to break down what here's another disruptive thing: work-life balance.
Yes.
I'm just going to say this, and you'll get the rest of the WOW experience. Forget about it. There is no such thing. Okay. So when we say disruptive, this is what I'm
Yes.
talking about. So we're
Yes.
going to give you the truth about what it takes to be successful in your business and your career. And before you panic and go, "Oh my gosh, she just said there's no such thing as work-life balance." It's not balance. It is something else. And so when you talk about balance, just think about a scale.
Yes.
Okay. And so balance means things need to be even. So I need to take away from something else to give to the other so that it's even. So if I want my work and my life to be even, maybe I need to take away from my life so that my work can, no, no, right? We got to get our priorities straight, first of all. And then, second of all, learn how to intertwine these things by
Right.
establishing the right boundaries. So, we're going
Mm-hmm.
to break that down
Yes.
as well. And
Yes.
again, it's all falling up under the umbrella of the three things we love: bags, hats, and shoes.
Yes.
That's my little preview of the WOW experience.
So listen, and that is really good. But I want this is if you're in the Bay Area, you do not want to miss the WOW experience. So here's what who this brunch is for, right? I'm gonna give you all these 5 things of who this brunch is for. This brunch is exclusively for women who, right, are in need of more clarity on their true talents
Mm-hmm.
so that they can purposely chart their career. Say it again. And then they're willing to set boundaries and declutter their work life. So again, you're going to declutter
Right.
that because a lot of times, specifically women, we have to do so many things. We have to do the laundry, we have to cook dinner, we have
Right.
to make sure we serving everybody in the house. So by the time it gets to what we individually, us, you, me, we're burnt out.
Yep.
We're tapped out. So we can't do what we need to do for us because we have this head, like you said, we're top heavy. We're top heavy. So this brunch is exclusive also for the woman who has the desire to learn and grow with confidence to lead at the next level. Like Jay said, leadership is not about just, like dictating, do this, you need to do that. I witnessed this in corporate America. It was always this dictatorship. I'm the leader, I'm the manager, and you got to do this and you do that. It was never about serving,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think when you come from a serving perspective, you get more things accomplished from your team
That's
because
right.
now and now the team can now create greater results, right? You can get more things done. So again, you have to be able, come from a serving standpoint. And this is also for the woman who wants to powerfully expand into potentials far beyond and reverse engineer the success they desire. So, Jay, I want you to tell the people what this brunch is not.
Yes. It is not going to be and no disrespect to anything that we've ever attended before. And you
Right.
hit on it a little bit at the top of the live, Stephanie, where you talked about a lot of events, lunches, brunches, conferences. You'll go into it, you have this high expectation, you get there and you are on a emotional high because it's so motivating,
Mhm.
right? And you're like, okay, I can conquer the world. And then you leave, really, I'm just going to be honest, empty-handed from you're on this emotional high, but you have nothing tangible
Right.
to hold on to go
Mhm.
and execute.
Mhm.
So what this brunch is going to do is give you the tangible thing. So it is not for the person who is not ready to change, right? It is not for the person who doesn't want to do the work
Mhm.
and, doesn't believe that there's some waste that is going on. So if you are frustrated, burned out, wondering why everybody else is getting the opportunities in corporate or in your career, and or you're struggling in your business, but you want to do this and point the finger at everybody else. This isn't for you, right?
Yeah.
Because just like my dad told me back in the day when I was growing up, you point that finger, you got three pointing right back at you. So you have some accountability, and in fact, more accountability in it, right?
Yes.
So a lot of times we like to blame the what we call the outside influences, thinking that they hold all the power,
Right.
as if, right? We give way too much power to people in our careers and business. And I'm still in corporate. I've been in corporate America coming up on 25 years here in a few weeks.
Yes.
And the first part of my career was this. They that, they want this, they want that. Well, girl, let me tell you something. You have to take accountability. So I like to say these three fingers stand for habits, associations, and thoughts, right?
Yes.
So if you want to point the finger and say someone else is to blame, listen, brunch ain't for you. It's just not
Right.
for you.
It's not. It's
You
not. It's not.
have to be accountable and understand. Yes, people have responsibilities. People have influence. So I'm not dismissing that, but we have work to do as well. So
Yes.
again, when the opportunity comes, we're not bogged down with waste. We're
Yes.
not holding on to too many bags. We have the right hat on, right?
Yes.
And we haven't even hit on the shoes yet, but we're walking in the right shoes. So
Right.
if you're not ready to do the work, don't come. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yes. Yes. Hey, and I get it. And I get it. And I want to give a shout out to, we got Miss Roshenta said, good morning. It's for the doers. Talisha of 22nd and Tech. Welcome, welcome. Dr. D. Bowden, thank you for tuning in this morning. And thank you, Velma, for tuning in. So listen, I want to say this, and I want everyone, the women that are watching, I want you to ask yourself, how many bags are you holding? How many bags are you holding on to? Again, we talked about these designer bags, but I'm saying, what's inside of your bag that needs to be released?
Yes.
And if you need help releasing them bags, you need to show up at the WOW experience. Now, for those that are just tuning in, the WOW experience, this is Women Overcoming Waste experience. It's a leadership intensive for women who have a deep desire to change. Again, this is taking place September the 10th. This is Saturday. It's going to be in the Bay Area, Danville, California. Grab your tickets. I will put the link in the description. But I want to say this, Jay, before we get ready to wrap up, because next week we're going to talk about them hats.
Yes.
We're talking about the bags a little bit today, but the hats. Then we're going to talk about these shoes, walking in the right shoes.
Mm-hmm.
All of us have hats and shoes and bags.
Yep.
What? I'm just saying, y'all, like, it is really important that we remove the bags.
Mm-hmm.
And oftentimes, I've been there. I know, I worked in corporate for over 20 plus years. And I just, like I said, if I come to work, show up and work on time, I do my job, they'll notice me, and then I can move up the ranks. I'm just gonna, it's almost like becoming an author. When I became an author, I'm just an author. My name is Stephanie Wynn. I'm just an author. Mm-hmm. No, my name is Stephanie A. Wynn, and I am a world-renowned author. So again, it's more of that confidence,
right?
Knowing who you are and whose you are. Because a lot of us, we can't be great because we don't even know who we are, or right. we're searching for purpose, and purpose is already within us.
That's right.
The purpose is there. You just have to, like you said, Jay, we got to declutter. Mm-hmm. We got to release some bags. We changing these hats.
Yes.
Because we as women, we wear many hats.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But we got to have the right one. We have to have the right one on. Exactly. And I want to expand a little bit on what you just said about, showing up. You think you come to work. You think that if you just put your head down and you do a good job, they're going to notice you. They're not. They are not.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so oftentimes the frustration comes from doing that and then seeing people who I'm just going to be honest, who aren't as talented as you, who aren't
Mm-hmm.
as gifted as you, bypass you,
Yes.
right? And you're like, well, wait a minute. I'm over here, blood, sweat, and tears. I'm the one who was the foundation for that project, et cetera, made it happen, made the calls,
Mm-hmm.
has the relationship equity with people, networking, doing all of that. And they didn't notice me. And it's
Mm-hmm.
because you're not speaking up for yourself. And so it's really my second favorite phrase, Stephanie. So one, changing your hat, two, being a ambitious woman,
Yes.
a woman who's both humble, and we'll talk about the right definition of humble,
Mm-hmm.
and ambitious at the same time. You cannot be afraid to speak up for the value you bring to your career or your
Yes.
business. It
Mm-hmm.
is not you saying that I'm perfect and I walk on water, but it is you saying, this is what I bring. This is why you hired me. This is the value that I bring to your organization. This is what I saved your company, right? This is what I bring to the table. It's the same thing as relationships,
Yes.
right? What do you bring to the table?
Mm-hmm.
And so being afraid to speak about that and thinking that you're just going to put your head down and work and they're going to notice you, I want you to keep this visual in your mind. It's like an ostrich with its head stuck in the sand. And we've seen memes and all that with
Yep.
ostriches with their, right? Big
Mm-hmm.
bird. That is a big bird.
Yes.
So, I mean, we notice the bird. Nobody dismisses the bird as you walk past it, right? But its head is stuck in the sand. Where is it going? What is it doing? I don't know, but it's over there with his head in the sand. That's basically what happens when we refuse to articulate the value we bring. So we're going to hit on that as well and teach you how to do those things and have the
Right.
right mindset of being ambitious, being both humble and ambitious at the same time. So again, we're talking about the wow experience, right?
Yes.
Women
We are.
overcoming waste.
Absolutely. So here's what's going to be covered, guys. So is we're going to talk about the disruptive mindset makeover. We're going to identify and stop recycling waste.
Yes.
We're going to expose the truth about leadership, as Jay stated earlier. And we're going to teach you about the value of business acumen, right? I mean, it goes both ways in corporate and in your career and in your business, right? And then we're going to also talk about the brand you method. Like, how are you branding yourself? Because if you don't brand you, they others will brand you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and
Brand
so
to be branded.
brand or be branded. So again, this what the wow experience is going to definitely impact and empower a lot of women. Again, our goal is to really, really be transparent. When you leave, you will say, wow, not only are you going to be fed, but you're really going to be fed
Right.
when you leave here. Like, you're going to be so full that, I mean, you have to push away from the table because it's gonna be
Right.
so much. So
Right.
again, if you want to grab your seat and more information, we will be dropping the link to the wow experience in this live feed. Jay, do you have any questions before we conclude?
No, I just want to encourage women to come out, right? And not be afraid of embracing different things, embracing change. Everything that you've done so far hasn't worked, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the time is now to get the right information that you
Yes.
will need to catapult your career and business for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to hit on the foundation and teach you how to execute. And I assure you, you're going to be able to apply these things over and over and over again in your career and business and start to see real results.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I cannot wait
Yes.
until the event. So
Definitely. And so I put the link on, you can go to stephanie8win.com/wow. You can also go to wisehatconsulting.com/wow. And listen, it's going to be an amazing experience. If
yeah,
you know someone who is looking for change, We do have virtual opportunities too. So if you're not able to be in person, we do have virtual opportunities. And this is going to be good. This is going to be great. I'm super, super excited. Again, ladies, if you're tired of carrying these bags, you're ready to change your hat, and you're ready to walk in the right shoes, the WOW experience is where you need to be. September 10th, Saturday, mark your calendars. Next week, we're going to talk about them hats,
Yes.
and it's going to be great. It is going to be great. I'm super excited.
Me
So we
too.
want to thank you all for tuning in live. Thank you, Dr. D, Rochinda, and Elaine, and Talisha, and Velma. Thank you all for tuning in today. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
All righty. Until next time, we'll see you soon.
Yes. Bye, ladies.
Bye.